Larry Grossman?
For his post.
Oh, okay. Today we're gonna build out today we're gonna build out two carts, guys. A junior and a senior. Bye, Marty. Obviously, it's not the best day to do this, as you can see. It is crappy weather. I actually closed the shop. It's 8:30 in the morning. Usually I'll stay open until about 12 today. It's a Sunday. But I figured nobody was going to be fishing. I would use the time to get these cart builds done. We've used 4 different cart manufacturers to piece out both these carts. So parts used today are coming from Benjamin Beach Wheels, Deerfield Fabrication and Welding, Surf Fishing Solutions, and Angler Fishing Mate. Beach Nasty, after 6 years of dedicated service, is about to be scrapped. And then we're going to decide what we're going to do with the remaining Beach Nasty. So I'm going to pop these wheels off, and then we're going to take it from there, guys. You're going to be able to get a good representation of how we're building these out. Let me get this guy upside down. I don't want to bend my axles. And what I've learned about these cart builds over the years is they never go exactly as planned. We might have a trip or two to the hardware store. So sit back, relax, take it all in, because we're gonna go step by step. I actually looked into getting just some frames built out, some custom frames built out from 2 different companies, but it was a little rich for my blood. All right, clean these axles up a little bit. So we got a 7/16 wrench here and a 3/16 little Allen. That is what's needed to get these Benjamins axles on and off. First one off. I was surprised that there was not a lot of sand buildup in there or anything. These guys were locked down pretty tight over the years. I've had this set of wheels and axles on for over a year. Benjamin's gone through a couple different axles and wheels over the years. These last few sets, he's really worked out all the kinks. All right. I'm gonna get this guy out of here and make some room. All right, let's get the parts. And we got a freaking lot of them, guys. 2 carts, a lot of parts, some new set of wheels. There's a new set of wheels. I dig through all this. I think we're gonna build out, I don't know. Let's build out the junior first. I already got the wheels and axles in there that I'm gonna be using for the junior. So we'll build that guy out first. I already got the lift and the handlebars on this junior, so really we just need to get the rod holders on here, axles and wheels. First rule of thumb here is I need to adjust our mounting hardware, because this is made for, or this was adjusted for, the senior. So I'm gonna move those guys in a bit. That's gonna be close right here, I think, guys, with the bigger wheels. I'm gonna have to get these axles out as far as possible so these wheels don't touch. I'm pretty sure it could be done. I've seen these Benjamins on some juniors before. All right, got them loose. Just gonna tap them. So I don't have to take them all the way off. I'm gonna attempt to get these guys on there without pulling the axles off. All right, boom, boom. Let me think. So, and I don't want it attached right there on the weld either. Uh-oh, all right, I forgot about those. So these little guys here are your, I forgot what they're called. So these little guys here are gonna hold this tight. I just knocked them loose. So we're gonna have to adjust those. We might have to take these completely off, or at least loosen them some more so I can shove them back up in there. All right, here we go. About to get into it. The first thing I want to do is just get my brackets where I want them and go ahead and get some holes drilled out there. Then we can bolt those guys in and then adjust the axle from there. Boom. Man, that one's tight with the washer. All right. I think we're gonna have to eliminate the washer on one. Had to shave it down a little bit. All right, got the first one secure. That is about as close as I'm gonna get. A little over 11. A little over 11. All right, I ended up sliding this axle out because it is hard for me to get these little guys back in there. I can't remember what these are called. Can't remember the exact name, but because these axles have like build up on them over time and all that, I think I'm gonna have to maybe grease them a little bit to get these to slide back up in there. I can't remember how I got them on. I mean, the smartest thing would have been to left these axles put together and just put them on the new cart and use my new stuff for this cart, but I wanted to put the new wheels on the guide cart. That's the one I'll be using more often. I worked them in there as best I could. I got one completely in there. This one's kind of hanging out, but I got it halfway in there. I think that's the best I'm gonna get. Let's leave it alone. And I have this from here to here, 11 inches on both sides. Oh yeah, we're clear. All right. Let me get this other axle on, and then we'll jump into the other stuff. That one went on a lot easier. I tried a different method. I pulled the axle completely out. I put one inside and I worked the axle through it. I greased it a little bit. Then I added the other one actually on the axle, not in the hole, and just worked it through with a mallet, kind of keeping the pressure off the handle and everything because I don't want to start bending stuff. But that seemed to work a lot better. We want to get these guys at 11 each. My mom said there's a tornado warning in Orange Beach. That one's dead on 11. Close enough. Get our new stainless pins in that Benjamin sent me. If you guys are ever changing out wheels or anything like that, you reach out to Benjamin. He does have the stainless ones now. He'll send them over. Super cheap. Find my pliers. Starting to get a little messy around here. Clean up. Start losing stuff. I'm missing a bearing. I don't know if it fell off now or I've been missing it, but we are missing a bearing. I have to get a new one. Nathan, if you're watching, I need a bearing, buddy. My little caps here are pretty busted up, but they are still going. Not one of them has completely busted off. And that's pretty impressive for well over a year of use. Still rolling well, even missing a bearing. I might come across it here in the garage. Moment of truth. This thing is sweet. Look at that little guy, man. This is gonna be my little personal cart, guys. I'm just running around the beach with. That thing is tough looking, bro. That thing is short and stout. Like my Yep, this will be the one I'm just running around the beach with. Obviously, I only have 2 rod holders, right? And we still got to get a bucket holder on here and then our little cutting board bait basket, so I don't have any rod holders. We're about to fix that with some Deerfield parts. I got 6 of these caps from Benjamin, and then I got 6 rod tubes, bolt-on rod tubes from Deerfield. They don't come with the cap, so that's why I got those from Benjamin. Right here, you bolt them right on the side. We're gonna be able to get 6 on there, and then we're gonna have room for our bucket holder in our bait basket, and then in the actual cart, we're gonna throw our cooler. Down low, we're gonna roll with the spikes, maybe. If I don't like that, I have some extra sand spike holders from Beach Nasty that I'll throw on there. Let me get all these on here, then we'll pick this back up. All right, first handicap. These guys are breaking, trying to get on this flared rod tube holder. So if you get the Deerfield rod tube holders and then the Benjamin caps, they do not fit. But what does fit are the Angler Fishing Mate caps. So I had a few of these lying around, and those went on pretty easily, and they're nice and snug. So I'm gonna order a few more from Angler Fishing Mate to finish these off. But I don't want you guys ordering the Benjamins and then these and then them breaking on you. So remember that when you need caps for the Deerfield, just go straight to Angler Fishing Mate. Unless Brian from Deerfield has these. I'm not sure if he does or not. I just saw them on Benjamin's site, so I ordered them. But yep, they're a little tight. They probably fit on the Angler Fishing Mate rod tube holders, but just not Deerfield's. That's the way that makes sense to me, right? Before I bolt these on, I just want to take a look. But just in case I can't get sand spikes down there, I mean, I know I can get sand spikes down there. What my concern is because it's a smaller cart that they might be falling or bouncing around and falling out. So I kind of want to get a little test run with some sand spikes down there before I bolt these guys on. Because if not, then we're going to use these sand spike holders, and we're going to have to shift these 3 rod tubes around somewhere, which is going to make things tight. All right, let's play with it for a minute. Some spikes here. These are 4-footers. I think it's going to be fine. But I still got to get my rake in there too, right? Oh. Let me grab my rake. Oh, that's tight. So that ain't going in there. So rake-wise, I wonder if I can go in the front there. Look at there, guys. That will hold the rake. It's a little. Oh, that's even better because you have the support there. It's kind of in my face. That goes in there. I can rake it just like that if needed. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna roll with all these rod holders on the side. All right, let's get some holes drilled out. We got the bucket holder, thanks to Mr. Frisky Fins, donated this. So that guy's gonna go there. Gotta make sure I'm not gonna run into a rod issue, which that's pretty close, man. I'm gonna have to move these guys over on this side. We're gonna have to keep these pretty tight over here. Keep those pretty tight so I don't get hit with the rod in the bucket holder here. You better get a tester rod in there just to be sure that works. Double bucket, one for bleeding, one for tackle. Cooler. We're gonna get the rod holders pretty tight on this side. Be a little bit more spread out on this side, but everything fits, guys. Everything fits. It's gonna be a little front heavy. So I might consider maybe shifting the bucket back, using the front end for rod holders. Nope, I'm gonna keep it as is because of one feature. With the Fishing Mate rod holder, it locks. with the deer fields that doesn't have the bar down there to make it lock in. So I like that bucket secure. So we're gonna go with this right there. That's gonna be it. It's a little tight over here, but I like it. Everything's right there. It's right here in my face. We're gonna put our first rod holder. This guy over here. And that's gonna hit, but at least it's hitting the bucket and not the metal. And that's just if it swings around, right? Most of the time it's just gonna bounce like this. I just don't want the rod to hit the metal because you'll get these dings in these carbon fiber rods and it'll cause a weak point and then it'll break. If your rod is breaking during cast and things like that, that's more than likely what has happened. That rod has been dinged. It's got a weak spot. And then over time it gets weaker and weaker. And eventually it's gonna break. All right, that's where the first one's going, right here. All right, let's talk about how I got this thing built out here. Brian Curlett Surf Fishing Solutions. I got the lift kit from him, the junior lift kit, and the bar. His bars are universal, so whatever bar you buy, you can use it for the junior or the senior. Obviously, it comes with the mounting hardware that you mount right on the frame. This little frame, it's not even a junior, it's a Fishin' Mate Little. It's the smallest cart they had. This was my dad's. My dad used it, they moved around a few times, he just had it up in the attic and he gave it to me. So I ended up with that cart, knowing eventually I was gonna build it out. So I bought that lift kit and this push bar from Curlett during the April 2025 tournament. He was down, he was a sponsor for the tournament. So I bought those parts from him then. So it's been sitting for 6 months, just waiting for me to get around to doing all this. So in this cart, we have Angler Fishin' Mate frame, Surf Fishing Solutions lift kit and push bar, and then Deerfield Fabrication and Welding rod holders. Benjamin beach wheels. So 4 companies in 1 cart, guys. That's what I like. Everybody gets a little taste. Everybody gets some exposure. Man, it is pouring. I shall call her Little Peo.
Little Peo?
Little Peo.
No, man.
Little Peo.
No, that's not the name.
Why? That's an awesome name.
That's fine. Do we need
Little Peo. So all the rods will go on the side. Cooler, sand spikes underneath. That's a fun little cart. Thunder in there.
Little Peo?
Little Peo. All right, I'm gonna cook that pompano, and then I'll build the other one.